on this time. Breaking down the stories, every view will unwind. From left to right, we'll see the light. It's balance, we're chasing, no fighters fight. Good is still be talking straight. Let's hear both sides, let's communicate. Politics and reason, let's find the truth. Good is something's here to bridge it for you. Debates, insights, it's all on the screen. Good is still be keeping it keen. Hit subscribe, stay a while, let's dive in deep with Curtis. So be the combos you need. The combos you need. Dave's out with the cheerful whistle and guitar riff. Debates, insights, it's all on the screen. Curtis Selby keeping it keen. Hit subscribe, stay a while, let's dive in deep with Curtis Selby. The convo's unique. Curtis Selby talking it straight. Let's hear both sides, let's communicate. Politics and reason, let's find the truth. Curtis Selby's here to bridge it for you. Debates, insights, it's all on the screen. Curtis Selby keeping it keen. Hit subscribe, stay a while, let's dive in deep with Curtis Selby. The combos you need. The combos you need. The combos you need.
Greetings, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Curtis Selby, your type midnight blogger. What blogs in this case at 6:33 p.m. I want to welcome everyone into the chat before I dive into the topic. I am also going to do something that I don't usually do. Even though nearly everyone here knows me, I've introduced my channel to some people while I've been on the road. Don't worry, lawyers, I'm not making it a big deal, but I mentioned it with a couple of people. So just in the off chance that we have some new people, I will probably at least give a very cursory introduction of myself before I dive totally into the topic. But first off, I want to welcome everyone from the chat, all the wonderful people that come and listen to my silly pointlessness. Hail Connie Cleary, one of the great wrenches of YouTube, faithful birdwoman of YouTube. Please check out her channel, especially her extra channel Fluff Chick Productions. She creates lots of beautiful videos with cute birds, fluffy little pets from the pet store, and crafty videos where she demonstrates talent that I'll never have. This guy owes me money. Gorilla Censored Thoughts. Hail and well met. This is the gentleman who designed this song that I've been using as my intro. So if you don't like it, take it up with him. No. He also has a wonderful channel. Please check out Gorilla Censored Thoughts. He has lots of insightful commentary. He has lots of watch parties. He's a spiffy person. Please check him out. Hail Sashi, the man from the future. One of these days, I'm going to get the winning lottery ticket number from you. It'll probably turn out to be BR549. Extra points to anyone who actually gets that joke. Hello, Jim's Landscape, Commodore Productions. Check out this gentleman's channel. He makes lots of wonderful, at least largely Star Trek-ish themed things. They're pretty fun. Check out his channel. He also has some pretty keen insights of his own. So please check him out. A new name here. Stella Baxter. She is going to set me straight, possibly. She lives in Los Angeles. I have a feeling I've been misinformed about Governor Newsom and Mayor Bass's efforts to handle this horrific fire event. Well, please feel free to set us straight. I'm not here to rule the roost. I'm just here to share what I have found. Some of this is tried to be at least moderately balanced, but you're new to the channel, so you don't really know anything about me. So feel free to share whatever you would like. What's shaking? Well, I'm happy to talk to people about the Midnight Inferno. And I don't mean to be making light of it. I know it's a terrible event. I'm expecting that people who are new possibly think that I'm going to say horrible things like, "Those people in California deserve this catastrophe." That's not what I'm here to do. I don't want anybody to lose their homes. Even if I disagree with somebody, I don't want anybody to have terrible things happening to them. All right, I have somehow lost track of the chat. Where did everybody go? This is what happens when you click in the wrong button. But anyway, welcome Geek Flag with Nate. Who knows 1973? I believe that's when you were born. Moira Kitty, meow meow. Please check out Moira Kitty's channel. She has some really fun stuff about politics, but it's also kind of depressing. So you gotta go into it with the right frame of mind. But she will tell it like she sees it, and she will back up her stuff with information that is useful to know. Everybody saying hello, wonderful people, wonderful crowd here. I love all of you people. Clip that part. I don't know what part I'm supposed to be clipping. Oh, the part where I'm spouting all the nonsense. But I think that some people just take things too far. So, Gorilla, sent your thoughts. Did you see they're making a new movie called Escape from LA? Stuck on the I-10. I'll see myself out. Oh, gorillas. Gorillas. Stella here is going to give you a full Nelson and beat the crud out of you, and I'll laugh while she does it. Well, anyway. And by the way, you should feel welcome because we welcome all kinds of kitty cats here. We love cats, although I actually have a dog. I would show her on camera, but she's over there sleeping and looking at me like, what the heck are you doing today? Curtis Selby, no, that's when my wife was bored. I was born 2 years earlier. Oh! Well, my ex-wife was never bored. She had lots of fun torturing me. Okay, let's see. Stella's sharing her experience, so let's be respectful here to her because she's got her experience, and we don't know what it is until she shares it. I didn't have to evacuate. It was very close. I was 2 miles away from Union Canyon, the Sunset Fire. Those flames were moving very quickly, and yeah, you would know better than I would, but I've heard that the flames were being moved by 70-mile-per-hour winds. So, to be fair to Newsom and Bass, which is not to be confused with Rankin Bass, it would have been difficult no matter what. It would have been a fiasco. How did I like that meme? I liked it, but now I'm having a senior moment. Let me go back and look at it. I hate being old sometimes. Gorillas sent me a meme, and I should remember it because I thought it was funny. I remember thinking it was funny. Where's Gorillas at? Ah, here it is. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I'm going to share it though. We have an actual Californian here, so we got to play nice. We got to pretend like we're polite. Lady Miss, welcome. Yet another of the great wrenches of YouTube. Wonderful woman here. I believe you also reside in California. You've been sharing some of your experiences with us. Please share some of your experiences here. I know I'm going to probably throw out my own slant, and it may or may not be right. Sashi, we're respectful now? When did that happen? Was there a memo? Didn't you get that memo? Well, a hurricane with fire, not water. No firefighter could handle that. Yeah, I do think it would have been, again, politics aside, I think it would have been difficult no matter what. But Gorilla Sensor Thought, now I know how here they don't sound the tornado sirens till your house is 50 feet from where you built it. Are they faster with evac orders in Cali? We've got Cali people to tell us. I will say that in Oklahoma, they usually do a fairly decent job of letting us know when a tornado is coming. So whatever else backward we may have, we've got decent warnings for tornadoes. Kaplaw, Space Fraggle, glory to you and your house. Man, I almost feel like Culture Casino with all the wonderful people coming in. All right, I'm going to stop the music. I'm going to introduce myself a little bit because there's at least one new person. And just in case others show up that I've been sharing my stream out to, I just normally I don't do this because 90% of the time it's the regulars, which I love. Don't even get me wrong. It's just I felt like it's at least one of the people that I shared this with is a really wonderful professional, hardworking. They do a lot of business in real estate. They do a lot of stuff with church. Not going to name their name here. Just because I don't know if they wanted it shared, but really wonderful person that I talked to for a very little bit of time while I was on my route. And so just in the off chance that they're listening, I want to essentially introduce myself. I'm Curtis Selby. Let me share my channel here. I'll try to make this quick because I don't want this to be a big glory fest for Curtis. This is my banner. I really didn't know what I was doing and probably still don't when I put all this together. This is one of my most famous relatives up here. Dad was always proud of him. I don't know whether I should be or not, but I always thought it was interesting. This is, I'm trying to say outlaw Josie Wales. This is John Wesley Hardin. He was renowned for being the outlaw / gunman who had the most verified kills of anybody in the Wild West. He was the man that Time Life Books used to advertise their books by saying that he shot a man just for snoring too loud. So if you're ever wondering why I bend over backwards to try to be a nice guy, I'm not trying to be that fake nice guy. I'm trying to be legit, but I'm also trying to kind of not fall into this kind of thing. I don't want to be that guy. I honor him in that he had a quick hand and that he was a good shot. And he must have had guts and some kind of bravery, but at the same time, this is not really the guy I want to be. When I started out, I thought I would read more poetry. In fact, for a while, I quit talking about politics at all because I was kind of sulking, and I started to read a bunch of poetry, and my views just dipped into the stratosphere. So now I do a lot of talking about politics, for good or ill. I've had a personal journey. I've gone basically from being more or less centrist to being fairly pro-Trump. That does not mean that you're not welcome if you are not pro-Trump. All I ask is that you be respectful and essentially, basically don't waste your time or our time with a bunch of bluster. I will definitely try to respect you as long as you're also respectful of us. Not everyone here is a pro-Trump person. Some of us are not, and they're still wonderful people. There are basically three main themes of this channel anymore. The biggest theme is freedom of speech. I absolutely despise censors. Number two is lies of the mainstream media, whether it's left or right. I think that we can't be a republic. We can't be a functional republic if we're being lied to. And lastly of all, it's simply a journey of this tired old man trying to figure out what the truth is. And he's silly enough to do it in the company of some very wonderful people who've been patient with him and have tried to share their knowledge with him. So thank you very much. I'm not sure if I can read this one, Gorillas. It's so-and-so approves. I know because it was one of my so-and-so friends who sent it to me. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I may share it. I hope it doesn't end up offending Stella. I'll warn you, Stella. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but there's a meme that somebody wants me to share. We think it's funny. You may not. I don't know. So I'll let you make up your mind. I won't share it right now, though. Sashi says it's all lies. It's well documented that Curtis is a Soviet plant. Yes, you got me. Let's go back to the new person here. Stella, please allow me to introduce myself. I'm Curtis Selby, Russian asset. I have been bribed for many rubles to tell Russian disinformation to everyone online. And it is tough sometimes to distinguish the truth from the disinformation. I am still using Stream Elements, as you all can see, and have not had the time to update it so that Gorillas or Troy or Space Fraggle or whoever, Jim's Landscape, I haven't updated it yet to advertise for anyone else. So my bad. Gorillas, the only reason the non-Trump people are still here is because Curtis made them mods, and I can't ban them. No, Gorillas is more reasonable than that. And LDG Free the Net, welcome, welcome. He slipped on some beans. Oh, crap. I don't know if you're joking or not. If you're joking, ha ha ha, LDG slipped on beans. If you're not joking, then I am actually very sorry. I don't want you to be hurt. I'm not Tulsi Gabbard. No, I'm not. I wish I was like her husband or something, but no, sadly, I'm just a tired old man trying to figure all this crap out. Somebody did leave a comment about not liking Tulsi the other day. Full disclosure, I'm a big fan of hers. I'm not saying you have to be, Stella. I'm just saying, I am. So just so you know, Space Fraggle, can you post your channel link? Have I made Space Fraggle a mod? The work of a YouTuber. Let me get this open. The work, and I will make sure that I have made. Yes, Space Fraggle is a mod. So yes, please feel free, Space Fraggle or whoever else wants to share their stuff on here. I am suddenly having a senior moment. Magnetic forces slowing down my brain. GM's Landscape is not a mod. All right, let's fix that. Maybe. What is this doing to me? Jim's Landscape, he's not a mod, but he will be. You shall be the Commodore mod. Yes. All righty. So now that I've freaked everybody out and probably scared everybody out, don't waste the beans, reheat them. Inception. Yeah, it is kind of an Inception style of thing. It's not really what I meant to do. So let's go ahead, dive into the topic. We have somebody here to fact check me, and I'm not saying that like completely tongue in cheek, maybe a little, but not completely. Streams within streams within streams. And please check out Sci-Fi Mombi's channel. You'll hear that a lot because Stream Elements doesn't know to do anything else on my channel. Sci-Fi Mombi is one of those wonderful people who would disagree with me, maybe not about Gavin Newsom, but about Trump. Wonderful person, though. Please check out her channel and give her all the support you can. She does a lot of live streams, and she talks about very positive and wonderful things. I try to be positive. Sometimes it's a little easier than others. All right. So I don't know that I'm going to go ahead and start just with what everybody more or less knows. There's terrible fires in California. I get the temptation to say certain things, but I'm not going to say some of the things that I have come to my heart, because I understand that if I do, I'm guilty of the very same thing as people who were saying things about Georgia or Alabama. Ed, they voted for Trump. They had it coming. I don't want to sound like those people. There are, yes, consequences for one's vote, but I don't think that this is at least entirely something that we can blame on strictly votes. Space Fraggle, I don't really have a channel. Just search Space Fraggle. I just watch videos. My ID is Space Fraggle 1234. All right, gonna start cooking. Sashi will be listening, so everyone has to behave. Oh, Geek Flag. Geek Flag knows a lot of interesting history stuff, and I love history, but it seems like I often do have gaps in my knowledge. Did you know that Wyatt Earp worked as a consultant on many Western movies from 1903 to 1929 when he died, and John Wayne modeled the way he talked after Wyatt's? I knew that he did consulting, but I did not know that John Wayne modeled the way he talked after Wyatt Earp. Ah, excellent. Thank you for sharing Jim's landscape. Okay, I guess I better get to sharing at least a little bit. So anyway, terrible wildfires, both sides politicizing it. I'm just going to be blunt. And it basically depends on whose side you're on, which one appalls you the most. I'm going to be honest, because I have my side. I'm disgusted with the left politicizing it, but possibly I should be as disgusted with the right politicizing it. Stella Baxter, the Palisades is a wealthy community, possibly a bunch of Trump supporters. Well, you know better than I do. I don't, the trouble is you have people who, personally, I'm one of them, who stereotypes things. We know that Hollywood was massively in support of Kamala Harris. And so, again, the human temptation is to say, well, they had it coming, but they don't anymore. Maybe I would make that mistake, except I remember it was only a few months ago. In fact, I was going to share something about it, and then something happened and it disappeared. But there's still people out in the South, out in Appalachia, who haven't gotten homes. They're still not taken care of. And there were people on the left saying, and I'm not saying you were one of them, but there were people on the left saying, well, they had it coming. They voted for Trump. So if I actually say it, I'm as bad as they are. So, I'm as bad as those people if I say that anybody in California has this coming. I may disagree with them politically, but I think it's monstrous to say that anybody has this coming. Gorillas is actually voicing my thought. And again, you live there, so you know better than I do who's where, but the perspective that we get in other parts of the country is that basically California, the Republican Party there is virtually dead. That's our understanding of it. That may not be true, but I hope you'll forgive us, because we've heard so many people, so many movie stars come out in support of Kamala. Doesn't make them bad people, but it makes them not Republicans. Yeah, no one deserves. This is absolutely right, Stella. No one deserves hurricanes, tornadoes, or natural disasters. Yeah, people do wish cruelty on others. And we just have to be careful about having those thoughts, because it can come on anybody. And if you don't think so, well, be in the middle of a firefight someday. You'll wish cruelty on people. All right. That doesn't make it right. It just makes us human. Essentially, so there have been fires. There's been lots of political grandstanding. I'm going to share the latest. I haven't heard this yet, so you're hearing it as I'm hearing it. Let's see what this gentleman has to say. This is Doug LaMalfa. He is brutally ripping Gavin Newsom for incompetence. And you are saying that that is not true. So please share what you know. MAGA is very prevalent in California, especially in Orange County. I've heard it's pretty prevalent in Northern California. I don't know if the fires go that far north. Please forgive my ignorance. You're very welcome, Jim's Landscape. And Gorillas, now before anyone bites my head off, hear me out fully. This will take a couple of chats, but it pissed me off big time when they came out and said that 100% of the damages will be covered. I don't know what he's going to be saying at the end. Nate is disgusted by them all. People are suffering. It doesn't matter what their politics are. People forget we are all Americans, and these are Americans suffering. Absolutely. Do I agree with their politics? No. Do they irritate the crap out of me sometimes? Yes. But they are fellow Americans, and we need to come across. This is the fourth point of my channel, and I guess I'm getting ahead of myself for not thinking clearly, but the fourth point of our channel is that we've got to stop all this demonizing. Again, I came to be pro-Trump, but honestly, I came to be pro-Trump because I stopped demonizing him. And once I stopped demonizing him, it was easier to not demonize Biden, because I was angry and hateful about all of them about a year ago. So Gorillas is sharing his thought. 100% of the damages will be covered by the federal government. And with respect to everybody, this is not a bad point. Where was this pledge after Maui? Where was it after East Palestine or the North Carolina hurricane? I don't even know if East Palestinians got help, but I want my tax. And he's about to say more. Space Fraggle is agreeing, and yes, I agree as well, Nate. It's just disgusting when we feel that way. And I'm confessing that I felt it for maybe half a second, because, again, that's what I do. I probably ought to hide all these things, but I'm trying to share with you guys the process I go through, hoping that it helps you. Sashi, you're all Americans, and I'm a stinking foreigner. Yes, Sashi, you are a stinking foreigner. We do not like stinking foreigners here. I don't know why I'm doing that accent. But no, Sashi is a wonderful person. In my heart and mind, he's American. God bless America, which I actually do love America, in spite of all of its flaws. Gorilla Sensor Thoughts is finishing his thought. So, okay. So, he wants his tax dollars to fully help victims of all major disasters, not just selected areas. And again, with respect to those who disagree, this is one of my problems too. I get what was happening in California is terrible, and I don't want to just say, well, they voted the wrong way, let's let them burn. No. But at the same time, it is exasperating. Why, to us at least, it does appear like there is partisanship and there's favoritism in where the money's going. Possibly we're wrong. I know that's what Stella is saying. Again, please, I know I'm probably burying you and all this information, but please feel free to share in your chat what your perspective of this is. What I don't understand, though, because it can't just be party. This is what I don't understand. Because if it was just party, Maui should have gotten a bunch of money too. they're about as blue a state as it gets, with the possible exception of California. So why didn't they get money? I don't understand it. Ohio, every other disaster area, right on. Okay, so let's see what. Again, I haven't heard it. The tagline says that he brutally rips Gavin. Let's see what he says, and let me know what you guys think. Is he right? Is he wrong? Is he full of crap? I don't know. I haven't heard it yet. I wanted to share it with you. I want to share some of these things with you as I find them.
Well, it's everywhere. You can't avoid it in the news, and it shouldn't be avoided. It's so horrible. The fires we have now in Southern California that are devastating. So much there, so much value, so much lost, and up to 24 lost lives now. It's an incredibly unnecessary happening. They've been raging in LA. It happens every year with the Santa Ana winds. But up in the Northern California portion that I represent, we've had that devastation already many times. Town of Paradise, town of Greenville, town of Canyon Dam, and others completely obliterated. Now, our Governor Gavin Newsom has been up there to see those fires, especially the Paradise one, when President Trump came to Paradise and visited to see the devastation. So at the time, President Trump asked him and others, what are you doing to clear the land in such a way that makes it less fire prone?
All right. And again, I do have my slant. If I'm unfair, just let me know. But I remember this, not in intimate detail. In fact, I'm pretty certain Stella will remember this in a lot more and better detail than I do. But I do remember there were fires back during Trump's presidency. Trump went out there. He said some things that were critical of Newsom, and the media basically handed Trump his keister on a platter. He was told that he was stupid. He was told that he was an idiot. We were told that it was none of Trump's business. Now here we are, 7 or 8 years later. What do you think? Did Trump at the time have a point? I would love for you to let me know in the chat. Was he wrong then? Is he wrong now? Was he right then? Is he right now? Stella Baxter makes a good point. California has the 5th largest economy in the world. That's why the state is getting the help. And yeah, money talks. I don't mean to sound, shall we say, a little bit jaded, but it's true. Money gets more money. Dr. Phil was talking with one of these people who wants Texas to secede from the union. I don't want to get into that debate right now. The reason I'm bringing it up is Dr. Phil basically told the guy that he was a moron because Texas is catching up, but there's a lot of states that are not like California. They actually get more money from the federal government than they give out. And of course, this has been one of the sticking points of the left. They get really irritated. They talk a lot about the state of Oklahoma, how we pick the president, and we're tired of places that are taking all the money from telling us what to do. I'm an Oklahoman, though. We have a little bit of a different perspective. Well, some of us do. Honestly, some of us do lay around on welfare and just take the money, and I don't blame you for scorning those people. Some of us work our asses off, and we fight like hell to just make ends meet. And for some reason, we see news reports of people acting like we're idiots, and we get a little resentful of it at sometimes. But that's really not the point of this post. Without California's taxes, the USA would be in trouble. That is true. I would also, however, like to point out, without meaning to be unfair, those tax revenues, I believe, are probably, if they haven't already, are going to shrink because a lot of businesses are leaving California. And a lot of people are leaving California. Now, again, I have to be careful with that. I have to be careful of being all which is not cruel, but at the same time, things change, dynamics change. Oklahoma had tons of oil money at one time, and we were an up and coming thing, and everyone's like, oh, Oklahoma's the future. And then, like, after the oil boom in the 80s, we were nothing, and we haven't been ever since. Gorilla Sensor Thoughts, if they are the fifth largest economy, the state should foot the bill more than the rest of us with smaller economies. I mean, we need a real economist here. We need a real economist here. Oh, am I still roboting? Dang it. Okay. California is paying its share of taxes. The other 49 states don't have to help when it's in trouble. That doesn't sound fair. No, it really, honestly, it doesn't. Even though I get what Gorillas is saying, I don't want us not to help. I just, a lot of, California may not understand this, but a lot of people outside of California don't have a very positive view of California anymore. California used to be the land of paradise to a lot of people. And respectfully, I've gone from having the dream of vacationing or maybe even living to California to the point of I have zero desire to move or vacation in California anymore. Again, maybe we're mistaken. Maybe we're wrong. Yeah. The media calling Trump stupid is a daily ritual. Yeah, and it's just something that we have to keep doing. Lady Mist is sharing. What are we sharing here? Let me get back over here. Of course, my thing is good. I guess that is the. I'm just going to have to get back to this so I can see what you're sharing. All right. I'm still not sure what that is, Lady Mist. Is that like the list of everybody's economies or something? Please pardon my ignorance. Let me know what you're sharing. Oh, that's the money paid to the feds by the states. Okay, gotcha. Fracking and forest management has nothing to do with it. Trump was adulation, not realizing that Paradise was a red county. And that's probably true, too. Trump's not perfect by any stretch. That was in 2019. It's more now. We all work and pay into Social Security. Yeah, that's right. And yet we all demonize each other. We're not that different. We need to realize that 100%. 100%. Gorillas, all I'm saying, we're the United States. California may pay more federal taxes. We contribute to the federal taxes. If we get hit by a disaster, have the same help just as I would expect. And again, not meaning to beat up on you, Stella, but we watched people in a hurricane not get FEMA support because they had Trump signs in their yards. Now, we please, everybody, we can't turn around and then be the same kind of asshat that did that. we have to be loving and caring to the Californians, but it is hard to think of us as a united country when things like that are happening. I was born and raised in New York City. Trump is not to be trusted and is a selfish man. I don't doubt that there's some truth to that, but here's what I would like to know. Again, you're new to this channel, so you haven't been on the journey with me. But I've learned that many of the things told about him have turned out to be lies. And I suspect that he may not be as selfish as we have been told. One of my primary pieces of evidence for that was the assassination attempt. I cannot bring myself to believe that a purely selfish man would be shot and then try to encourage us that's not an act of selfishness. So, maybe he has a good deal of selfishness. I have a good deal of selfishness. I bet everybody here in the chat has a good deal of selfishness. Does that make Trump's selfishness right? No. I'm not trying to defend it. But I would suggest that maybe he's not as selfish as we have been told. Gorilla says he thinks this is a great debate. I hope so. I don't mean for it to be boring anyway. MAGA created lies and sent people to hunt FEMA workers. You will have to share the source on that. I'm going to need some receipts. I do know that there are. Look, I live in the South. I know that if you go onto a farmer's land, we were on a farm since the land run, meaning since 1892. That's 135 years. No, we're not still there. That's why I'm not counting the whole time. When you have built that land up with generations of your family's blood, sweat, and tears, you do not allow people to just come on there and act like they're the boss of you. So, one, I disbelieve, I call bullshit on FEMA people being hunted, but I will admit that there were probably FEMA people who were scared or fired at even, because that is what farmers do on their land when they feel like they're threatened. Let me stress that. When they feel like they're threatened. And if you want to say, well, there's no reason why they should feel threatened, I hate to tell you this. I was a poor farmer. Government people don't come across as people on your side. They just don't. You may not like that. You may think that's wrong. That may be wrong. I don't know. But it's a different culture. It's like people try to tell us that people are different in the hood. I just have to believe that because I don't know. I have friends who are black. I have friends from the hood, but I don't really know that experience. But I know the rural, poor experience. Gorillas. In all fairness, that was one FEMA supervisor sent the message out. She was fired. Yeah, no, I don't know that she should be in prison, but I'm not happy with her. I'm not happy with her supervisors. I'm sure she was told to do that. I'm sure she was just thrown under the bus. But, you're supposed to disobey orders like that. She didn't. What is your source on them saying Trump supporters were sent to hunt down FEMA workers? I would be interested in knowing that. Trump has lied to us. He is self-serving. Why is there no further information on his assassin? Good question. But you got to understand that question goes both ways. We honestly don't know. And I'm expecting that you're about to say that that was staged. Be careful, because I will take the gloves off. I'll try not to be mean to you, but I will take the gloves off if you're going to suggest that it was staged. And I have a reason why, and I will let you know if that's really where you want to go. I would really rather not. I would rather have a productive conversation. Guerrilla Censor Thoughts, you get it without strings like change your politics to fit the Republican agenda. They want to tell us how to run California or no aid. Okay, fair. How do you think Oklahoma's felt for a long time? We are the reddest of the red. Do you know how often somebody from New York, California, East Coast, left coast comes at you Oklahomans, you need to do things this way? And we're backward if we decide that we're not going to do it that way. We're stupid. We are a bunch of knuckle dragging rednecks. It was on the news. They had to recall FEMA workers due to death threats. Oh, man. Stella, I'm going to have to break this off. This will go nowhere. But please, feel free to watch some of my channel. And if you don't want to watch mine, I have an even better one to share. Let me look this guy up. Because there's a lot of lies that have been told. And again, I get if you don't want to believe me. I'm just some jackanapes from Oklahoma. Where is it? Does anyone else remember the black man? What was his name? I'm going to feel so stupid when I remember it. He's the one that basically taught me that we were all being lied to. Forgive all the silence. I'm looking through all my subscriptions to find him. Now I'm wishing John Ponterero was here. He'd be able to tell me. Last Call, Culture Casino, Stark of Iron. Does anyone else remember the guy? I hate having chronic fatigue syndrome because it does this. You forget people's names. Jess White. Come on, man. Cash Jordan. I wonder if YouTube unsubscribed me. That would be about right. You know what? I know of a quicker way to find him anyway. Here we go. If you do not believe me, please take a listen to this link. This is not an Oklahoman. This is not a white man. This is not even a straight man. This is absolutely the diametric opposite of what a MAGA person is supposed to be. All of the lies he debunks are lies I personally believed. And now I know that they're lies. Lady Miss, they can keep their aid. California has already rallied to help those in need from this disaster. So go listen to what the House Speaker said in a news conference. Okay, Stella Baxter doesn't think it was staged, but it was a Trump supporter that went after him. Can you please explain why you believe that? Because, well, look, I hate to tell you this, but if it was a Trump supporter, then it was staged. You get that, right? Because if I go after Trump, I'm only doing that because I'm staging it. So you do believe it's staged. If that is the case, then I hate to tell you this, then that has as much weight as Alex Jones' argument that Sandy Hook was staged. In fact, I would suggest it has less because I saw with my own eyes. I saw the assassination attempt with my own eyes, as did nearly everyone in the nation. Sandy Hook, I don't know. I could look it up, I'm sure, but I haven't seen it. Now, I assure you that I believe that Alex Jones is full of shit when he says that Sandy Hook is staged. I listened to my liberal friends when they said that Alex Jones was full of it, saying that Sandy Hook was staged. I respectfully, but only very mildly respectfully, suggest that to say that what the Trump assassination attempt was staged is the exact same not very healthy framework of mind. And this is part of what this channel is about. We have got to get past these unhealthy frameworks of mind where my side is saying, well, you guys stage school massacres. You surely know that's insane. But you also have got to reach across the aisle and say, hey, you know what? Trump's assassination attempt, it happened. And I don't even care what the news said. A Trump supporter is not going to attack Trump because that's insanity. Now, if you want to say, hey, he was insane, that's fine, because that is insane. But to say he's a Trump supporter, that's surely you understand. Think of it logically. It's insane to say that a Trump supporter is firing on Trump. Tyron Lethbridge, another new person here. What have you stumbled onto? Oh, me being uncharacteristically argumentative. Welcome. I am Curtis Selby. I call myself the Tired Midnight Blogger. I really honestly, in spite of the way it probably sounds in this episode, I try to be centrist. I try to be truthful and honest to both sides. I talk about politics because it interests me, and also because I've gone through my own journey of trying to figure out the truth of things and trying to figure out what's right. Likely a lot of people don't agree that I've found it, and maybe I haven't, but that's what we're doing. Gorilla Sensor Thoughts. He donated to Act Blue. Clarence Thomas. No. Amir Odom. Yes. Thank you, Sashi. LDG is allergic to sheep. Stella, donating to Act Blue doesn't mean anything. Yeah, but so does being registered Republican. That means nothing too. What meant something is when he pulled the trigger. That shows what he wanted. Gorilla Twitter DM. Good day, Lady Mist. Lady Mist. Okay, so let's see what Lady Mist has to say. I'm hopefully not stepping on your toes too much, lady. I don't mean to. Nothing will change. Trump MAGA that has their boots dug in, not going to have Trump account for anything he does wrong. Okay. Now, lady, again, I think that's unfair because look, no, I don't want to have this argument. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten into this topic. Trump knew the killer was dead before his famous fist bump. Okay, that's fair, and I'll agree with that, and I'll even agree that maybe that makes him less courageous. Having said that, please don't tell me that you're suggesting that it was staged. Please don't do that, LDG. Because, again, that opens the can of worms of Alex Jones level of craziness. And I'm only willing to talk about Alex Jones levels of craziness if we're willing to accept and admit that Alex Jones could be right. Then I'm willing to dive into that level of craziness. I suspect that you rightfully don't want to admit that because it's true. Alex Jones is fucking crazy. He's just crazy. So let's kind of agree, unless you've got some really good evidence and not just a bunch of innuendo, let's agree. Sandy Hook was real. Trump's assassination attempt was real. The kid in Pennsylvania, the guy in Florida, had a gripe against him. I don't doubt they did. But again, that proves you don't have a gripe against someone you're supporting. Now, maybe he changed his mind at one time, but at the time he pulled that trigger, he's not a Trump supporter. It's not staged, but a Republican young man did the shooting. He had followed Trump, and maybe so. I still don't understand, though, why that somehow means I can't support Trump. I've never understood why that means that I can't respect the show of courage, even if that's all it was. But I disagree with you because look, I have been fired at, okay? I know what it's like to dodge a fucking bullet. You know someone's character when they're under fire. You say he knew he was dead. Maybe so. Did he know if there was a second shooter? I didn't. Now, granted, I'm not there. I don't have the Secret Service in my ear, but then we also found out later that the Secret Service was woefully understaffed. So how is it that he knew all this stuff with an understaffed Secret Service? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Gorillas is running away. I need to just move on with the context. Californians are moving, still voting blue in their new home states. Yeah, and I don't understand it. If blue voting is so good, then why not stay in California? Please explain that to me. California will not secede from the union. I don't know that any states, I really don't think any state's going to secede from the union in the next decade anyway. It's fair if any of us had done what he had, he would be in jail and not staged by Trump. Not so sure the Heritage Foundation was involved with that kid doing the shooting. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. I've heard the rumors about BlackRock. And frankly, I'm kind of getting tired of this topic. If you all want to insist on being right, that's fine. I'm going to move on to the topic. Jobs and family are why the people move. Okay, that's fair enough. So if that's fair enough. I'm going to drop that part of it because it's kind of, one, it's irritating me, and Two, it's not what I'm here to talk about. You can, if you want, you already know what I think about Trump. Did he stage the shooting? No. I'm not sure the Heritage Foundation didn't. Okay, so let's piece this together. You may know more about Heritage Foundation than I do. In fact, you almost certainly do, or you wouldn't be bringing it up right now, whereas I'm baffled that it has anything to do with anything. So this Heritage Foundation, which I thought was right wing, but maybe isn't, either they wanted Trump dead, which I would just have to research that, because I frankly have no, that to me is a level of confusion that's basically, you're telling me that they're either just freaking insane. So this is an insane organization, which is possible. There's insane organizations. Or they're masterminds of this profound degree that were able to persuade this kid to try to shoot Trump, but somehow they knew he would miss, even though he came frighteningly close to hitting. I love you, I respect you, but I hope you will understand that I'm going to need some profoundly strong receipts in order to look at that with any degree of open-mindedness. Again, I don't know. I know shit from Shinola about the Heritage Foundation. They may be, in fact, as crazy as you're suggesting. And I don't want to crap all over you because you're a wonderful, sweet person. But I'm going to need some solid receipts on that to really entertain it. Over here, we had a government that was continuously elected to power because they believed in the party, even when it was doing heinous things. It's important for us to step back and reevaluate no party. This is true. This is a very great truth. No party can be trusted entirely. Hey, Dadman Walking, I've opened a can of worms. Ha ha! Welcome, Dadman. And while you're at it, check this gentleman's channel out. It's a wonderful thing. He won't baffle you with pointless politics. He will share lots of positive, wonderful things. They do watch parties. His wife has a very positive morning show. So please check him out. Lady Mist, it's rich guys wanting to control everyone else. Now, there's definitely some truth here. I don't know about the Heritage Foundation, but the rich men north of Richmond, that's a true thing. There are a lot of rich people in a lot of different organizations, both left and right, who are doing some really shady things. Lady Mist will find some links on them that aren't Republicans or Democrats. I trust you too. I trust you too. And I'm willing to look into it. I just, again, I've heard so many things that I would need some profoundly solid receipts. I'm more likely to believe that the frickin' World Economic Forum or the Trilateral Commission was trying to take him out. Run away! Run away! Oh, very good, Dadman Wong. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to sharing what this senator, this congressperson thinks.
You know, to rake the forest floor, and then people made fun of that word "rake," which actually is a technical term for some of the equipment used in forestry to make sure areas can be a little more fire safe by thinning trees, removing brush, removing dead material on that. So the question is, as Governor Newsom goes out on site and waves his arms and tells us it's someone else's fault, then what has he learned in the last 6 years? And more importantly, what has he applied since he had this photo op in Paradise as the new governor of California? It looks like not much action. Certain promises are made to be aggressive on land management in California, and certain claims are made, but the actual numbers are 1/5 of the amount claimed that had been treated, the work that had been done in California. So we've seen time after time, more and more fires. The Camp Fire in Paradise, listed here, 85 lives lost, 90% of the homes. The Car Fire near Redding, the Zog Fire on the other side of Redding, the Park Fire last year, 400,000 acres from Chico all the way up to Mount Lassen. The Dixie Fire, 1 million acres. This is all Northern California. Now, Southern California is getting international coverage, and rightfully so. So what are we going to do? What is Newsom going to do?
All right. And indeed, that is ultimately the question. What is he going to do? How do I feel about Elon Musk? Frankly, to be blunt, not the topic, and I'm done talking about things that aren't on topic. I talk to a lot of people who are just determined to be right. I suspect that could be you. So if that is you, listen or don't. I'm okay either way. I'm going to move on with the topic. You feel however you want about Elon Musk. If you don't like him, I would suggest that you lack intellectual integrity if you don't also have a fear about George Soros. I don't think you can fear the one and not the other and not have basically a bias. You have to look at them both and ask yourself which one has had the most influence, which one's had the most influence for the most length of time, and which one's influence is most dangerous. Maybe it is Elon Musk. But until you ask that question of yourself, I'm not going to go into that conversation any further. I'm not mad, Lady Miss. I'm very tired of hearing the same old arguments. I'm very tired of it. And maybe I haven't refuted them. Maybe you could watch my entire channel and think, well, Curtis is full of crap. Maybe that's true. If that's the case, I would suggest don't waste your time with my channel. If it's not the case, then what I want are different arguments than the stale, tired ones I've heard in the past. You, Lady Mist, because you're a wonderful person and intelligent, you're going to be presenting some links with things that I believe will be new arguments, will be new things that I haven't heard. I'm willing to listen to that, but I'm very tired of the same old platitudes and the same old party slogans. You know, I got tired of that on the right. I was tired of that from the left before I was even there. I gave Biden the benefit of the doubt. I gave him 2 years. And then it turned out that he had dementia. It turned out that we were lied to. And what I cannot understand, and you're not this person, lady. I'm not saying this to you. I'm saying this to the world at large, I guess. For a decade, I have heard Trump lies and Trump needs to be held accountable for his lies. Okay. But why is it that all of the lies about him are okay? Why is it that lies about him, and again, you probably haven't watched as far back in the channel. I don't think you were here when I was having that journey. When I learned that these things were lies, things that I believed for years, now I think, well, okay, fine. Trump needs to be held accountable for his lies. So does the other side. And this is where I get baffled, because it's like one side, it is always this way. We're all tribal. my side's lies, that's okay. You know, they don't need to be held accountable. Their heart's in the right place. I know they lied, but they lied for good reasons, because we've got to defeat Biden. We've got to defeat Trump. And I'm tired of that. I want lies. I want liars to be held accountable. If it's Trump, okay, hold him accountable. If it's the left, if it's Gavin Newsom, if it's Tucker Carlson, if it's Lemon, hold them accountable. But it's got to be equal. It's got to be on both sides. And you, of course, are more that way. You try very hard to be open-eyed. Dadman Walking agrees the rich guys' comments with their money, it transcends party politics. Yeah, it does. And all too often I find that the people that say that they're on the right, they're voting the same way. And respectfully to my friends on the left, I hope you see that as well. These people who represent you, that say that they represent your values, they're voting the exact same way as the some bitches that you're howling about on the right. Very often. Sashi's going to get ready for work. Nobody get caught in echo chambers. Yeah, I know. It is a pain to get people in stuff. Stella, there's residential ordinances that you have to clear 200 years around your house. I don't understand that one. I don't understand clearing 200 years. Maybe you meant acres. Okay, so you have to clear 200 acres around your house. The latest I heard is a power line started it. Yeah, and again, whatever your politics, it's terrible that it's happening. It just is. So Stella, so George Soros isn't living at Mar-a-Lago, so he's okay. He's the good guy. He's on our side because he's not at Mar-a-Lago. Glad we established it. And yes, that's true. It's always okay to ask questions. Skip this chat. Yeah, and it is true. Whatever one may think of Elon Musk, you're right that we have to be careful. We have to be careful as much as I'm harping about demonizing people. We also have to be careful about heroizing these people. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, they are both flawed human beings, just like the rest of us. Just like the rest of us. All right. So let's see what trying to decide if I'd rather move on to something else. But I want to finish up the topic. So again, this is what this gentleman's saying. He's basically saying Gavin Newsom didn't learn any lessons. And Trump made a good point, according to him. We have, okay, 200 yards. Okay, that makes sense. Actually, I'm going to skip this one because I think this one will just make the debate too dismissive. Here, let's be somewhat centrist here, and I'll move on to Gavin Newsom's response. Now, again, I'm not meaning to crayfish here at all. I have my view, I have my thought, but I also agree that we can't get locked into echo chambers. We have to listen to the other side. That's how we got here, was leftists not willing to talk to Trump, right-wingers not willing to talk to Biden, on it goes. Let's see what Governor Newsom says about Trump's blaming him.
Today, there just are not enough fire crews able to deal with all the blazes that are going on. This house is completely gone. The next house next door looks like the roof has just caught fire over there. The fire is also spread across the street. There are at least 3 houses ablaze, and the fire in just in the last 2 minutes or 3 minutes has spread to that vehicle, which was parked out front. There was a slight explosion as some of the gas went up. A fire truck passed by here. There's another larger blaze up there, which they are going to try to deal with right now. We're at
Okay, I'm going to skip, not because it isn't important. It is terrible, and it is important that we acknowledge this is a horrible thing, and that we probably would do better to unite instead of snapping at each other. This was supposed to be about Gavin Newsom's response. Here we go. Here he is. Maybe.
This area earlier, about an hour or so ago, and I spoke to him just up the block. Here's our conversation. What's the latest?
Well, 5 dead, likely more. Just completing that devastation. I'm in a lot of these fires, a lot. Going back to Paradise, this approximates Paradise. It's not a numeric. It's just a feeling, sense of loss, place, belonging.
Still no containment.
No. We're zero containment. The winds have been a little bit more favorable, as you've seen in the last few hours. So we've got the helicopters back up. We've got some fixed wing aircraft. Out on the coast, it's a little different. It's pretty intense. We have 23 aerial assets just at the Palisades, but a lot of them are not operational because of those winds. So it's a combination of challenges. That said, we've depleted all our resources. Northern California, we'd already pre-positioned on Sunday. Hundreds of personnel, special units, water tenders, dozers, engines, helicopters, and it wasn't enough.
Okay, so again, I'm the angry right winger. I think he's a big poo-poo dodo head. Having said that, he's not exactly just sitting on his hands. You listen to just the right wing, and that's what you'll think. You'll think, oh, he's just sitting around doing photo ops. And look, maybe I do think he should be doing more, but if I'm going to be fair, you have to admit that he is doing something. He is trying to get a force moved to do things. Now, then the argument becomes, well, should we have been better prepared? Lady Mist, no one in the office is doing much for this country. Someone has to stand up and yell, stop the madness. And I guess that's what I'm at least vaguely trying to do. Again, I know I have my side of things. I have my slant on things. But the truth is, yes, red and blue have both betrayed our country. We can argue about this person, that person, whatever, but the two parties as a whole have hung us out to dry. And I think most of us, when we really are being honest with ourselves, I think most of us can admit to that. You know, you may be pro-Trump, you may not. You may be pro-Biden, you may not. But the parties these people represent, I would suggest, have failed us and failed us badly. And thank you for listening, by the way. I hope I haven't been too confrontational. I hope you do understand that I'm just trying to argue my point. If I have in any way gone overboard in arguing my point, I apologize, because your opinion is definitely worth listening to. Sometimes maybe I get too passionate about things, which is not an excuse. But Tyron Lethbridge, since arriving in the States, I've seen more lies. Oh, yeah, I don't doubt this is true. and more untruths than I ever thought possible. You have to question everything. Primary resources are your best bet, and hear conflicting sides. Beautiful. Well put. Well put, Tyrone. Because if we don't, that's exactly where the echo chambers come in. We have to listen, even if we feel, one side is going to say, well, CNN isn't worth listening to. One side will say, Fox News isn't worth listening to. That's the point where that's when they've got us. And of course, there's the ubiquitous they. We'll have to have a discussion about that some other time. Tornadoes of fire. The water pressure was low because our infrastructure isn't meant to fight multiple fires at once. There is so much importance in being able to come together, talk reasonably, logically. If we can't, we default to emotive and tribal conflict. All of this is true. We need other... okay, Stella. I may have disagreed with you on many, many things, but I agree with you 100% on this one. We need other parties in this country. We may disagree on a lot of things, but this one, nah, we're in total agreement on this. There has to be another way. Stella is pro-human. I love that. And it's a discussion, which is what we need. Agreed. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I love you people. And you know what? That's what you should do. I'm not here to bully you into believing what I say, in spite of what I'm doing and saying. I'm trying to be strong, but I also admit I could be wrong. I've done a lot of digging, yes, but there could be some thread I missed. Maybe the Heritage Foundation thing you're talking about is one of the threads that I've missed. Let's see what else Governor Newsom has to say. I need to cut this short. There's other streams going on.
The mutual aid system, the EMAC system. Governors from all across the country are calling. Oregon sending a few dozen engines. In Arizona, Utah, we're just grateful for all the support. A lot of these firefighters I was talking to on the street, they've been working 26, 27 hours. Are they? That's just.
And I hope that there hasn't been any of my fellow right-wingers saying anything disrespectful about the firefighters, because I think that's something else that we can all agree about. Whether Newsom's right, whether Trump's right, the firefighters are freaking heroes in this. They're fighting something that's virtually impossible. So, I hope we can all agree on that. I'm going to skip to one more thing, and it may make me look biased, but I'm going to play this one without comment. I'm going to take my bias out of it. I want to know what you guys think. This is productive. Yeah, there has to be that healthy amount of pushback, and that's where it gets tough. I'm going to admit, I don't perfectly do it. Sometimes I cave when I shouldn't. Sometimes I fight back when I ought to just keep my mouth shut. Again, we're human. We're all learning. And that's part of the point of this. Even though there aren't a bunch of us, there's a bunch of very intelligent, very kind and loving people here with many diverse views. Probably not enough views, but many diverse ones. And yeah, we are here to push at each other, but only never past the point of disrespect. I've kind of showed some of my boundaries right now because I'm trying to share where the arguments go, where it's hard or impossible for me to respect. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm right. I may be completely full of crap. Maybe the whole thing was staged, and yet Alex Jones is still crazy. But in my mind, it's the same. And I need some very substantive receipts if I'm going to be persuaded otherwise. Lady Mist used to watch Fox News. Found in them too many outright lies. And yeah, I've kind of shut off all of the mainstreams because of that. There's so many lies on both of the sides. Oh man, those firefighters haven't slept or gone home in a week. Oh, God bless them. Please, if you're a believer, you don't have to be. I'm not saying that I don't want to proselytize. If whatever your belief may be, whatever your God or lack of, please send prayers or positive vibrations. I don't mean to be mocking in any way. Please send whatever your beliefs are out to these people because they deserve it. I'm going to play this one last video, and I'm going to play this one without comment because if I make a comment on it, then I feel like I've been too biased in this stream. If I do, it's a thing that probably all of you have seen. I want to know what you guys' thoughts on it are. And I will only comment if there's a lot of people wanting to hear what I think about it. But I think it's fairly obvious what I think about it. I'd love to know what you guys think about this. And trust me, I know there's easily two different ways. I was talking to a fellow right-winger today, but he actually had a very different view than I did and a more positive view about this person than I did. And that's why I'm sharing this. I want to know what you guys think of Mayor Bass, and I want to know what you think of this occurrence. You probably already know what I'm about to share.
An apology for being absent while their homes were burning. Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? You're dealing with this disaster. No apology for them. Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was on foot?
I am only going to make one comment, and this is not politically motivated at all. Please believe me. Why in the name of heck she's not her? I'm not criticizing her. Her staff is on the other side of the door. They know she wants them to open the door. Why are they not opening the door? Whatever you think of Bass, whatever your politics, I just don't understand why they're not opening the door. But again, I'm here to know what you guys think. I'll finish playing this and then check the chat, see what you guys think.
Voting back home. Madam Mayor, just a few words for the citizens today as you return to deal with the catastrophe.
And you're also seeing why I don't go into politics. I'm dumb enough to talk about it. There's no way you could drag me into the political arena. All right, let's see what you guys think about this. Tyrone, you cannot trust any. Oh, God bless you. When I start my own cult, I'm going to make a saint of you. No, I'm sorry. You cannot trust any of the old legacy media channels. They're all paid mouthpieces of a broader agenda. Nowhere in what they say is there anything that has your interests at heart. It's fear porn. So well put. So well put. I love that. Stella Baxter, Major Bass should have said something. She needed to defend herself. And again, I want to be careful not to make this. I've already said tons and tons of things about what I think. I do agree with you on that. We may disagree about what we think of her, but I think whichever one of us is right, she would have done better. I think I do understand some of her silence, but that's a discussion for another time. The real heroes are the firefighters, the first responders, and the volunteers. Hell to the yes. Oh crap! I don't know what something's going on with my streams. I don't know what. He's basically asking her a bunch of questions. Even though I have my take on it, I this is one of the reasons why I couldn't be a reporter. I think he is being a bit rude, even if he's right in principle. He's asking the questions in a pretty obviously confrontational way. She cut the budget for the fire department. Not a good move. Yeah. And that is a part of why I am upset with her. Now, again, maybe I'm too upset with her. Maybe I'm letting my partisanship influence that upset. But I am upset with her for cutting the budget. I think that that was not a good move. I think that's one of the last things you should ever cut is firefighters and first responders. She had to wait for the airlock to repress. Oh, I see. Okay, I should have known that, but I didn't. Thank you. Stella's not fond of Mayor Bass, by the way. Well, hey, see, we agree on that too. Although, honestly, I got to be fair. I don't know enough about her. All I know about her is from this incident. So it's probably easy to think, oh, Bass, she's all about that base. And Stella doesn't like finger pointing. I understand that. I do understand that. Okay, I usually end this with a segment that I like to call Pointless Things That I've Learned on Twitter. Sometimes I go ahead and let myself just dive into partisanship, but I'm not going to do that on this stream because I've already done that. So I'll try to keep them. The more fun and less politic ones. Let me go through these real quickly so that I don't share a bunch of partisan crap for you poor people who've been so patient with me. I'm going to start with this. Yeah, I think this is something that one will find cool no matter what party you're in. Firefighters are standing by their captain when asked by some news people if she was falling short. That's cool. That's cool. And I haven't wanted to dive into that side of it because to me it's kind of a separate issue. I may have my partisan side, but I think that sometimes we get too antsy about this, that, and the other. The fire budget was increased. Oh, but it wasn't as much as they needed. See, this is why you needed to be here to let us know that. We've been told that it was decreased, but honestly, I do think I read somewhere. I just it didn't burn into my mind, so I'm glad you reminded me. The fire budget was actually increased, but not nearly as much as was needed. And Lady V. Austinese, yet another one of the great wrenches of YouTube. Sorry, just tuning in. That's okay. I didn't promote this early enough. I didn't really put enough planning into it. And while I was hoping there'd be new people, I got new people and then tried to beat the crap out of them. So, Lady Mist, she's not my mayor. I live outside of LA. Hey, Jeff B., another wonderful person. Well, it looks like I catch the tail end. Yes, I'm about to share pointless things that Curtis has found on Twitter. And while you're at it, please check out Lady V's channel. She is, I don't know how to describe her. She's a wonderful person, great human being. She does some gaming stuff. She does some tarot readings. Definitely a beautiful person that you need to check into. And Jeff B., please, I cannot remember. I'm having a senior moment. The chronic fatigue is real. I'm trying to remember. I think you have content. Forgive me. Sometimes I forget who has what. But if you do, please check out Jeff B. He is also a wonderful person. I don't think there's any bad people in here. Did they donate all of their equipment? Lady V, I do not know. Shows what happens when you don't prep enough for your streams. I don't know that. She never gets. I'm gonna have to get my glasses. Are those crabs? Are those? Oh, she never gets antsy. Very good, Stella. Oh, thank you, Stella. You're very kind. You're very kind. No, you're cool. I just, you know who I am now, at least a little bit. Okay, and Jeff B's only a consumer. So I'm glad you are, because I was, for a second, I was like, wait, does he have content? I'll bet he does. Crap. And I can't remember. Felt like a heel. All right, let's end this on a more positive note. Obviously, I don't know that I have answers or solutions, but I think one thing we can learn from the stream, part of the answer, part of the solution, we need to be talking to each other. We need to be humanizing each other. We don't need to be demonizing each other. California rents water tankers from Canada. Now, I think I have read that. And there are Canadians, or there was a Canadian that in our midst. We have several Canadians that follow. They're wonderful people. Nature is amazing. I'm not going to play it because I've been roboting, but here we have a couple of gorillas. Proof of evolution. I just think it's wonderful. I love nature. I'm going to skip up. I'm not going to boggle you guys with anything. That isn't worth your time. Snortopupus Cuber. He's not exactly a YouTuber. He's what I call a memer. He likes to take photos of polar bears and turn them into the most wonderful memes. There's a big iceberg up ahead. Anyone listening? I can hear you breathing. I can smell the bacon. Hello. I'm going to skip these because I don't want to be political. I love this. Bark at your dogs and see their reaction. I love dogs. I just think they're wonderful. I think they're better than most people. But I love these where people bark at their dogs and the dogs just have the cutest reactions. Dogs are so sweet. I am going to be just the tiniest touch political just because I'm a horrible person. I thought this was funny. Maybe it's not, but Kylie Kelsey fires back at Joe Rogan fans after taking podcast down. And his response is, who is this? Okay, enough of the politics. Maria with Tea and Telly, please check out her channel. She is also good people. Wonderful human being. She's recently got her accreditation, whatever the term is, to be a Buddhist priest. I love her content. I love her, but in a platonic way. Please don't have her send police after me. I mean, she's gorgeous, but she's kind of out of my league. Here she is sharing a baby picture. Look at that. Look how innocent she was. She's so cute. Nope, going to skip the politics. Normally, I try to stay apolitical and then save it toward the end. I'm doing things backward this time. These are photos of people, of celebrities when they were young and older. This is Kim Jong-un. Yeah, not one of my heroes. Lady V, the thing I want to say would probably get me tossed off of YouTube, but I would love to start practicing making babies with somebody. And don't start rumors, only because, like, I don't want her feeling uncomfortable, but I do think she's hot. I think other people are hot too. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Here we have Zelensky, Vladimir Zelensky, young and old. Xi Jinping, Xavier Milei, President of Argentina, King Charles III, Nayib Bukele, I'm not sure I got that pronounced right, but the President of El Salvador, Benjamin Netanyahu, if Moira's still here, your favorite person. She, by the way, she's a wonderful person, but she does not like Benjamin Netanyahu. Joe Biden, young and old. Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, young and old. Ali Husseini Khamenei. And now we get into the, well, no, we don't. Giorgia Meloni, Prime Minister of Italy. Vladimir Putin. I guess I'm being a little bit political there. When a baby who had a nightmare wakes up and sees its mom, you got to see this. It's just so beautiful. As someone who has PTSD and I know nightmares, it's been a long time since I was an innocent baby like this, but I think that's so beautiful. You know, oh, mom's here. It's okay. Wolves' reaction when a mother wolf returns to the pack in Manitoba, Canada. I think that's so cool. Beautiful wolves. Oh, okay, more politics. Let's skip the politics. Keanu Reeves being really cool to a kid who wants an autograph. Keanu Reeves riding the subway, giving up his seat to the lady. I'll skip ahead so that I used to make fun of him and said he was a bad actor. I take it all back. He's a hell of a human being. I wish I was half the man he was. A kid delivering to Sylvester Stallone the Rocky speech. I'm pretty sure they're filming that on Tulsa King because I think that's one of the museums in Tulsa. That's so cool. Even though I'm trashing celebrities, I wanted to share this because there are great and cool celebrities on both sides. Keanu Reeves, meeting Keanu Reeves at a traffic light. Hugh Jackman meeting a huge Wolverine fan on stage. I have no idea what Hugh Jackman's politics are, and I hope I never know. I just think he's a wonderful person. If he's left, if he's right, I don't want to know. I just think he's a wonderful person. Arnold Schwarzenegger, a little right wing. Arnold helped inspire this person to become an artist. Here he is now with my portrait of him. Bruce Willis. My friend and I replaced Christmas with Brucemas, where we exchange Bruce Willis themed gifts each year. I win forever. And yeah, it's real. Hugh Jackman again. I know my selfie skills are terrible, but look at this baby penguin and everything will appear better. I probably, you know what? I will. Hopefully it's okay to share that I am a red-blooded man. Men, is this true? How it feels to see boobs. And, I don't want to belabor the point, but yes, it is true. All right. I'll finish up with the chat, and then I will thank everybody and call it a stream. Tyrone, you know what, Curtis Selby? I met this hot bird named Rennie L. All thanks to YouTube channels. Then I moved halfway across the world to Texas and married her. That is fantastic. My love life has not been so great. You probably can understand why, having listened to this podcast. But I love it when romance works out. I want it to work out for everybody. Lady Miss, that is amazing. I am going to share one more thing about myself, just between us two, if everyone else wants to shut this out. I only had 2 nightmares from the time I was 1, because, my memory actually goes back that far. From the time I was 1 to the time I was 18, I had 2 nightmares. And then after I turned 18, I had them all the time. So I think that's great, and I think that's cool, and I hope that in your case, they never happen. I don't wish them on anybody. Kiana is a friggin' saint. I love the guy. You know, I was a dumb young person back in the day. Now I love him. DJ Ronnie G, welcome. Yet another person I need to share with y'all his wonderful channel. He will reveal some things for you. He taught me some things about what was going on in Hawaii. Some of his acting is awkward, but he's got a pure soul. Yeah, and I think, honestly, his acting, one, has gotten better, and two, man, I have to give him props for his dedication. I mean, whatever you may think of his acting, he gives it everything he's got. So, no, yeah, I'm not going to say any, you know, I would have at one time, but not anymore. I won't say anything negative about him. All around nice guy, cool story. It's a great story. LDG, thanks for the stream. Back to Boston legal episodes. Right on. Oh, nice. LDG, good luck. Our prayers, our thoughts, good vibes are going out to you. Whatever's out there, please let LDG have love. He deserves it. Gorillas, I disappeared for a while, even though I was gearing up for a fun argument. Someone wanted to talk to me. That's probably more important. Your friends are more important than my silly podcast. But I do want more watch hours. I don't know if I shared that or not. I was going to. We're less than 600 hours away. I want to say it's 565 hours. So if y'all just want to pick a random, you know, if you've got the spirit, if you want to, you know, pick a podcast that looks to you like it would be interesting, listen to an hour, 2 hours, or if you can't stomach that, find something that's 10 or 15 minutes. I'd sure appreciate it. I would love to be able to do this for a living. LDG, oh no, gorillas. Lady V. Austin, he tries his best to protect the child stars too. Naturally, some parents didn't heed his warning. Oh yeah. You know, that's something else I need to research more, but I'm almost scared to. Hookers need love and affection too. I'm just going to keep my damn mouth shut. Start putting women in bikinis in the thumbnails. Well, I put women in bikinis in the you know, I've shared some of them, but anyway. Oh man, if some of the local people watch this, they're probably just going to think I'm full of it. Thank you very much. Yeah, anything, you know, just anything that looks like you would be interested. You know, don't suffer if it's something that you think will annoy the crap out of you. But I would love and appreciate anything you'd be willing to watch. Lady V, I'll give them love, but my wallet is off limits. That is so. The thumbnail revamp idea. Well, I mean, if I could get the AIs to cooperate, I'm trying to generate better thumbnails. Next Tulsa stream, yeah, user bikini pic for sure. Yeah, it's pretty nice. They need a firm hand. I'll be in my bunk. Okay, I need to call this a stream. Doo-dee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. All right, I'm going to thank all you wonderful people, and then I'm going to give you my spiel that I do at the end. While it's not as good as Netter's, I hope it's one of the better ones out there. I think Netter and Deleted Scenes have the best endings, and I hope mine is at least vaguely competitive. Thank you very much, Connie Cleary, for your monitoring, your kindness, your prayers, your knowledge, your moderation. Gorilla Censored Thoughts, thank you for all the advice, all the support. Thank you for designing that wonderful intro for me. You're a wonderful human being. Sashi, the man from the future, another wonderful human being from Malaysia. I just love that. Jim's Landscape, Commodore Productions. Live long and prosper, good sir. Live long and prosper. Stella Baxter, someone who thinks differently, and that's why we need value. Stella Baxter and her opinions, beliefs, the things that she shares. Nate, Geek Flag with Nate Knows. Thank you for the kind comment and for your support. Moira Kitty, meow meow. Thank you for the knowledge that you've shared, your feistiness, your support, your kindness. Thank you so much. I could probably do this, but it would be so boring and so unfulfilling without people like you. Lady Mist, also someone who thinks differently, but an incredibly beautiful soul, one of the great mods that you'll find on YouTube. One of those people, man, I hope this comes out, because it kind of almost sounds condescending in my head, and I don't mean it to be so, but she's one of those people that you don't see her on the camera, but she's one of those people that everything works so much smoother when she's there, and I would bet that some things would fall apart if she were not. Space Fraggle, another person with differing thoughts, but an incredible soul. Kaplaw, as the soul and spirit of a true warrior. God bless you. Thank you for being here, sir. All right. Have I missed anybody? I know there's LDG at Free the Net. For anyone that's new to this channel, LDG is generating an app. He is hoping to free us from the censorship of the big tech corporations. So if you feel like it would be good to do so, check him out and see what you think. God knows we need to be freed from all kinds of oppression, but censorship to me is one of the worst of them. We have to be able to talk or we're not free. Tyrone Lethbridge, another new voice, but so far a very wise one. Someone who has found romance and is also very, very wise in the things that he shared. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that what you heard was hopefully mildly entertaining, but hopefully more importantly worth your time. Hopefully you learned something. Oh, so many good people. I don't know that I deserve so many good people to be here. Dadman Walking, thank you very much for being here. I bet you're streaming right now, so anyone who wants to go and enjoy a good stream, Dadman, probably Gorillas, and I know that Netters Network and Troy Pacelli are doing some Twin Peaks related streams right at the moment, I'm sure. Lady V. Austinies, another one of the great, wonderful people of YouTube. Well, anyway, I'm just going to be a good person. Jeff AB, thank you very much for your kind comments and your support. Who have I missed? Have I missed anybody? People talking about love and Tulsi Gabbard. Lady V doing that wonderful thing that she does, sharing out the streams. God bless all of you. Take care, everybody. And here's the spiel. It's been said that life is pain, and that anyone telling you otherwise is trying to sell you something. And it's true. I am trying to sell you something. I'm trying to sell you on the idea that liberty is better than tyranny, and that freedom is better than slavery. I'm trying to sell you on the idea that you are good enough and smart enough to run your own life. You do not need big tech or big government or big corporations telling you how to live your life. And lastly of all, absolutely stay safe, well, and warm, but last of all, know that you are not going insane. It may feel like it sometimes, but you are going sane in a world gone mad. Pain only reminds you you're alive. I'd fear the numbing blindness. I understand that. Tonight it's so cold I saw a politician with hands in his own pockets. You know, I believed you when you said you saw an alien delivering Elvis to the Loch Ness Monster, but I can't believe this, girls. This is just wrong. God bless all of you. Thank you very much, and I will hopefully see you on one of the other streams. Have a wonderful evening.